Yeah. Huh? Good. I think there have been 2 or 3 of them. Parade. It's an international parade in Elgin on Saturday. We'll be marching. Tell me anything. Let's get started. What's on your mind? What do you think about the election? Any questions for me?
The election seems to be pretty critical.
It's a big one.
It's a big one from that end of it. And you know, I thought that so far the RNC and the convention has just been going great.
Have you liked the convention? Have you been watching the convention? What do you think about Paul Ryan?
Happy with Paul Ryan. Happy because that's the big issue, which is, you know, spending.
Yes.
It's a big challenge with regard to where things are going.
It's a big issue, spending, and the biggest spending issue is really healthcare costs.
That's my concern, not only for myself, but children who are
well, you know, it's funny. I was raised in a big Irish Catholic family, 7 boys, 2 girls. Most of my brothers, they had big drinkers. I was probably the lightest drinker. My staff makes fun of me because I tend to drink a fruity drink. A foo-foo drink. I get laughed at family reunions. Really? Come on in and join us. Joe Walsh. Welcome, Dave. Welcome, welcome. We just got started. I think the Paul Ryan pick is a good one because I think it tells the whole country that Republicans are not going to be afraid, and especially Mitt Romney won't be afraid to really talk about what matters. I think the Democrats are hoping that we'll be afraid to talk about health care because they want to score some political points. But the bet that we're making, I think, is that the American people are ready to grow up and have this conversation. Because as you say, we want Medicare and Social Security around for our kids. And right now, they won't be. They just won't be.
Profoundly disabled. He's on Medicaid for his medical needs. And we're wondering, he's going to turn 52.
He'll turn 52? God bless you.
But then not living. He's mentally,
Yes.
fine person, very fine person. And his friends, they're actually nursing in
Yes. It's very scary because Illinois is not one of the better states when it comes to dealing with, working with kids and adults with disabilities. Have never been one of the better states. Well, here's what's so scary. Right now, Illinois can't afford Medicaid. Right now, Medicare is due to disappear in 12 years. So to not try to reform this, whatever you think the reform is, to me is negligent. And I'm running against a woman, Tammy Duckworth, who doesn't want to do anything about it. Truthfully, Barack Obama doesn't talk about it. I understand that because they're trying to score political points. Republicans have done that before. We have no time to do that anymore because it's people like your son who will suffer if these programs go poof. Yeah. And that's who Medicaid and government health care should help.
Right.
Those who can't take care of themselves.
But if they run out of money, it won't matter.
Because right now, yeah. Right now, Medicaid, Illinois almost can't afford our current Medicaid burden. If Obamacare isn't repealed, the name in the game of Obamacare is to push everybody on Medicaid eventually. The system will just go belly up. Hurting the, well, it's going belly up right now. What else, guys? Thoughts on anything? And I appreciate everybody coming.
On that same topic, though, the Donald Trump is the Republican plan, at least Paul Lyons, is to create a voucher, which will never be big enough. So, what's the response to that?
Make it big enough. I guess the whole.
Paul Lyons said this much more than he stated the money is budget.
Well, but again, that can be negotiated, and that can be revised, and that can be improved, and that can be raised. That's not what's going to be there too. Oh yeah. What's important about the Ryan plan is it's a plan.
Right.
And anybody may disagree with it, but it's sort of the beginning of a conversation that says Medicare Americans is gone in 12 years. So if we don't do anything to it, say goodbye. So here's the Republicans' plan, an idea. If you're younger than 55, we'll make it optional. And remember, even Ryan Plan number 1 didn't make it optional. It was this voucher plan for people under 55. But now the Ryan plan is the one we voted on this year. It's optional. For people under 55, if they want to stay on traditional Medicare, they can do it. But for others, if you want to be given X amount of dollars every year, whatever that is, that will be played with, and you want to go out and shop your marketplace for your own health care to help drive down costs, that's an option. And there are many variations of this. Whatever you don't spend, you get to keep. There are a lot of different variations of this. The important thing is, it's the only plan right now out there to save Medicare. Obama doesn't have a plan, and the Democrats don't. And again, by design, because they want to try to scare you and you. Their goal this year is to scare seniors. And remember, even the Republicans were so afraid to touch Medicare that we said if you're 55 or older, nothing changes. Right now, nothing changes. Only for the next generation or 2 or 3. 10,000 Americans are retiring every day. And like you, you're going to live for a long time. We're living till we're 92 or 3 or 4 or 5. This is good stuff. But how are we going to pay for all that health care? That's the adult conversation we have to have. And you may disagree with Ryan and the Republicans, but we've got to have that conversation. Should we think about raising the retirement age finally in this country?
Right.
Politicians are usually afraid to say that. I think we should. I think we should. We're living longer. We're working longer.
It makes sense. And so what do you think about the state of Illinois having its credit rating downgraded as a result of their inability to negotiate and deal with their problems?
Well, it's not at all surprising.
2 years ago, San Diego Church.
Illinois really should be bankrupt. It probably is. It will probably be, unless we turn around, the first state to declare bankruptcy. Think about that. It's not surprising. The politicians for too long have been afraid to deal with the pension problem. But it's not just the public pensions. Medicaid right now is the bigger part of the budget, and it's growing. I always laugh. Does everybody know that Illinois actually has a balanced budget amendment to its constitution? Illinois is supposed to have a balanced budget every year. but there are loopholes you could drive a truck through. Illinois can borrow money every year to balance its budget. How crazy is that? So the scary thing about the downgrade is now every dollar that we borrow now is more expensive. It's like, imagine if you're an individual and your credit rating gets worse. Well, then it's a lot more expensive to borrow money, to buy a car, to do all these things. That now is the double whammy on top of Illinois. The problem in Illinois is you have two parties. One party, the Democratic Party, controls everything, and they have for years wanted to just keep growing government. Then you have a Republican Party that hasn't had an original idea in years. The Republican Party in Illinois is a joke. And so the Democrats have gotten away with what they've gotten away with because the Republicans haven't stood for anything. Michael Madigan, one person runs this state. Governor Quinn is
figurehead.
You're being nice. Governor Quinn's not serious. He's a silly, silly man. Michael Madigan runs the state. And I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat, no man, no person should have that much power. That goes against everything we believe. It's a scary thing. We've forgotten that. We are one nation under God. We are a nation of laws, and we are a nation run by us. We the people. We've let our government get too big, and now our government does too many things. I'm driving a 1984 RV around the district to campaign it, and right on the RV it says it's time to grow up. And my campaign staff got mad. Are we ready as a country to grow up? To pay our bills, to live within our means, and to ask government not to do so much for everybody, ask government to take care of the needy, but the rest of us gotta be more responsible for our own lives, because this is not sustainable. 10,000 retire a day. Can I buy you some? I'd be honored. Sure. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Well, but that's the arrangement your husband set up, the union set up. It's like, you know, I mean, Americans have paid into Medicare and Social Security, expecting certain returns. I think we need to honor that, but I'm thinking about our kids and our grandkids. And we know these programs won't be there. I was sitting with Tammy Duckworth in front of the Chicago Tribune editorial board 2 weeks ago. And the Tribune editors asked us, they said, do you understand, Mr. Walsh and Ms. Duckworth, that Medicare will be gone in 12 years, bankrupt, insolvent. What are you going to do about it? And Tammy Duckworth kept saying, I'm not ready to discuss that. I'm not ready to look at that. Oh my gosh, if you're not ready to talk about how to fix and save Medicare, you shouldn't be a congresswoman. I raised my hand and said, we have to. We have to. But we're gonna just, they're just not gonna be there.
Did that get, what else? Did that get published in their report, their summary, whatever?
Well, it'll be interesting. If you go to the Tribune website, it's all on video. It's all, you can check out the video. And I think it's in its entirety. So check it out. And who knows who they'll endorse. You know, the media doesn't love me.
Do the Democrats not believe in commitments of any kind?
I think most... Well, yeah, I think, again, I don't know where everybody is politically. You know where I am. Most Democrats believe in big government. It's part of who they are. The country's got a lot of problems. Democrats look toward government to solve our problems. I got in trouble a few months ago. I said the Democrats want everybody dependent upon government. They do. Because once they get you dependent upon government, what are you going to do for them every election? You're going to vote for them.
Right.
They're the party of your benefits. The scary thing in America right